Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to change your pool pump. This is going to be the same process for the Century and the Sta-Rite pumps, so let's get started. The tools you're going to need are a flathead screwdriver, a 9/16 wrench, you're going to need a socket set with a 9/16 socket, a 3/8 socket, and a 1/4 socket. Also, it might help you out is having some pliers to help pull your wires through at the end, and then a drill is going to make removing the bolts a little bit faster.
So I originally had a Sta-Rite 3/4 horsepower motor, but unfortunately that motor completely seized up. So I decided to replace it with a Century 3/4 horsepower motor, which I got online for a good price. This motor kit has the same specs and it's a direct replacement, so it makes it simple to swap out. I'll leave links to the pump, motor, and all the tools I use down below in the description. First step is to ensure there's no power going to the motor, so open up the electrical panel and ensure the breakers are switched to the off position. Next, go ahead and remove the cover on the back of the motor. It's a good idea to take a picture of the wiring to ensure that you put it back in the correct place on the new motor. Disconnect the positive, negative, and the green ground wire. Unscrew the insulated wire tubing and push the wires out through the L-shaped connector. There's also another ground located on the bottom of the motor that also needs to be removed. Alright, next, using this 9/16 socket or a wrench, remove the 4 outer bolts that hold the motor to the basket housing. Alright, once you got the 4 bolts removed, use a flathead screwdriver to gently separate the motor from the basket housing. There will be some water that will come out. And then gently pull the motor away from the housing so you can work on it. Next, remove the L-shaped connector from the back of the motor. You're going to reuse this one on the new motor, so keep it in a safe place for now. Next, remove the 4 9/16 bolts that hold the motor to the turbine housing. You can use a wrench, or in this case I'm going to use a drill. Also, on the plastic cover that surrounds the turbine, there's a brazed piece that is at the 11 o'clock position. This must be in the same place when reinstalling it on the new motor. Using a 1/4 socket, remove the 3 bolts and remove the cover. Next, we're going to be removing the turbine fan. Using a 9/16 wrench, hold the bolt located at the rear of the motor, and then you're going to unscrew the turbine, which must be done in the clockwise direction using a 3/8 socket. Once the bolt is removed, continue holding the bolt on the rear of the motor and unscrew the turbine fan counterclockwise. This should be easy enough to do it by hand. Then you're going to lift the housing away from the motor. Now we're going to be following the same steps but in reverse. Clean off any debris on the turbine housing and place it down on the motor. This kit does come with new seals, so just match up the seal with the one that you remove and replace it. Go ahead and remove the cover on the back of the new motor. And use a wrench to hold the motor from spinning and replace the turbine fan, turning it clockwise to tighten it by hand. Continue holding the rear bolt and tighten the 3/8 bolt in the counterclockwise direction. Next, replace the turbine plastic cover and screw in the 3 1/4 inch bolts. Also ensure that the plastic piece is still in the 11 o'clock position. Next, we're going to screw the new motor to the turbine housing using the 4 9/16 bolts. It's also a good idea, since we already have the motor taken apart, to change out the seals. So just match up the seals that came with the kit. It also comes with a silicone sealant, so I just use a liberal amount here on the seals and replace them. I'm also going to repeat this for the smaller seal located on the turbine fan as well. Now, with our new motor and the parts we removed from the old one, gently slide it into the basket housing the same way you removed it. Replace the 4 9/16 bolts, then tighten in a cross pattern until the motor is flush with the basket housing. Now we are going to remove the plug for the wires and replace it with the L-shaped connector we removed earlier. Next, take the wires and push them through the L-shaped connector. It may help to use a pair of pliers to pull them through. Then push the hose back into the L-shaped connector and tighten the fitting. Replace the ground on the bottom of the motor. And replace the positive, negative, and green ground wires on the back of the motor. And then replace the cover on the back of the new motor. Check to make sure that all the parts have been replaced and that everything is connected properly. Next, use a garden hose to fill up the basket housing to prime the new motor, then replace and tighten the lid. Next, flip the breaker to the on position and turn on the motor. Ensure the relief valve on the filter basket is left open so all the air can escape. Once water starts spitting out, go ahead and close the relief valve and you're good to go.
Alright, well that's how you change a pool pump. If you found the video helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.